Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jordan Fisher.
I'm Timmons Hatman.
I'm Cypher PK, and this is the May Contain
Action podcast.
Available on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, and more.
Welcome to the May Contain Action podcast, where your two favorite people talk about content, pop culture, and gaming with their favorite people, which in this case is us. Support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. I love saying that. I know. I am host number 2, Trevor May. I'm here with host number 1, ActionJaxon, and also producer number 1.
Yeah.
Peter.
Who's number 2?
PM, aka Peter.
Woo! PM.
Who's number 2?
I don't know.
Oh,
There's no producer number
Someday.
2.
Someday
Maybe.
when we make any sort of money, we can hire a second.
Any money off of this at all?
hire an intern.
Peter,
Yep.
super Italian last name. Love it.
Yep.
Love
Well,
it.
today we have something a little different.
You can edit that in post. What?
Put it in post. Today we have something a little different, okay? Because of the start of the baseball season, which is ruining everything, and other scheduling conflicts. This week's episode will function as an MCA State of the Union of sorts. I like that. Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
Who's our
basically
designated survivor?
What?
Who's our designated survivor? Like if
Like the
we
show?
do this and we get bombed during the show, like who's going to carry on the mantle?
Because that part of like a show called State of the Union or something? Am I missing something?
It's a show called Designated
Survivor,
dude.
but
Look it
does he give a
Read a
State
book.
of the Union in that show?
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland is the president.
Oh, well,
And
I didn't know.
And at one point, they're like one of the generals is like, "Do you really want a Secretary of Housing to be the president? Do you think that's really the best?" And I'm like, "We have a freaking reality TV star as our president. I think you guys are doing pretty good in the show comparatively." Go on. I'm sorry, that was a huge tangent.
That show probably didn't do very well because it was very normal. Trevor and I will be discussing. I'm Trevor. Paul and I will be discussing some current events and answering a bunch of questions submitted by the hashtag AskMCA on Twitter. And some of you guys actually did it, which was really nice. Thank you. But if I could give one word of advice, more of you need to do it. Thank you. Cool.
Yeah,
we have our list
do.
of questions. We have less than last time. We realized like halfway through the questions last time we did one of these that it was way too many.
we had a lot of questions.
So we got some silly ones, some more in-depth ones, and we have a few guest specific events that are actually pretty cool because we had the Xbox unveiled it. I don't know if you saw it. There was a couple cool things that you don't really need context for. I'll just say happened, and then you'll be like, "Well, that's cool."
Yeah, I saw some cool things happen today.
And there's a couple something around. There's a topic around variety streaming, which Paul actually was streaming yesterday, talking about it a lot. I thought it would be interesting to talk about on the show today, and some other things. Twitch drama, which is constantly always happening. And that's not just streamers. That's just the actual company of Twitch. So excited to touch that. But first, let's get to the questions.
Awesome. I'll start us off. So our first question, don't know who they're from, but it doesn't really matter. So first question of the day. During this quarantine, what is a skill you've been working on getting better? A skill I've been working on getting better. That's an interesting question. I could take that personally or professionally. I feel like personally is patience in communication with my wife, because she has been around me far more often than is normal. And in the beginning of quarantine, she was losing her mind. She, at one point, she was so distraught with because she's a teacher. She was so distraught with teaching kids like through YouTube videos that at one point I woke up in the morning and I was in the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom and she's standing in our bedroom in a robe, in slippers, staring out of our window 4 inches from the window. And I was like, "Honey, are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm just looking at the trees." It's like, "Oh God, are you okay?" I took so many pictures of her just staring with her hands in her pockets, staring out the window. So I had to learn patience and working with her about being home. She had a really hard time. But then professionally, I would say I probably worked on the most creativity, which feels like a weird skill to work on, but like just changing things up in a way that I enjoy and like, but also not so being creative and changing things that I like, but also not caring, which is I feel like a weird word to use. I feel like there's a better word. What chat thinks in the best possible way, like doing the things and changing things that I like and want to do and caring less about the feedback just for my own mental, like I want to change this because I think it's cool and I want to do it and I want to change the camera angle because I like it for me. And like chat's either going to like it or not. So that's probably my two: patience and then creativity, while also not caring what chat thinks about it.
Okay. So patience and not caring about chat at all. Got it.
Yeah, not caring about chat at all. Yes.
Gotcha.
That's a weird answer to that question. But that's what I would say. What about you, Trev?
During quarantine, skills that I've been working on getting better. There's several. One was aim for a while. Just working on aim.
Just aim, period.
Just to fit, just that the athlete daily get ready better and everything. Like just mindset thing applied perfectly to that. It was something that I hadn't had don't have benchmarks on. I didn't really know how good I was or not good, or why I was bad. Like I don't want to say I'm bad at shooters. I'm just like why I'm not getting to where I want to get. And if it's more game sense, and it has actually come out that to me could become very readily apparent to me that my biggest weaknesses in games is actually game sense, like playing the game in a clever way instead of in a ram your head into the wall way. So I've been working on that because by all the benchmarks, the aim is pretty dang good. But the problem is I'm like, for example, let's put in the Call of Duty example. I instead of peeking over a head peeking something, I would just be in the open. That is it's a very blunt, obvious reason, but like you don't realize that you're just easily seen. So in like Tarkov, for example, I'll be like waiting for someone to come around the corner and interchange, but I'll be standing in where the light comes through the window. So I'm just like it's obviously there instead of being in the shadow, like realizing that they probably can't see me very well. Like that kind of stuff didn't go through my head at all. So that's what I'm actively working on and talking through and not worrying so much about like whether or not I'm out aiming people and more about learning that other stuff because the aim then takes care of itself. So that's one big thing. Another thing in personal life, just in general, from the business side and from the personal side, is communication. I do a terrible job of consistently talking to my family. For one thing, I'm super independent and I'm like, I could go sit in my room and like not talk to anybody for a long time. And
same.
And and just like making sure that I'm like through quarantine, actually my parents have been, and my siblings, 'cause I have 3 siblings. We've been in a group text, so that's constantly being populated all the time now. So it's something we never did before. So that's cool. Great. And I can, but I'm not I feel like I'm not participating in that enough. My dad sends me YouTube links to music constantly. Oh wow! Like every day, 3, 4, 5 of them. So I created a Spotify playlist that's called Dad's Playlist. It's just such a random range of music from the 60s to now. And it's hilarious. But that'll actually go live. A lot of people will be able to do that once we get to 500 songs, which we're getting there very quickly.
Nice.
But like communicating with my family and then communicating with all my spinning plates, like with the Print Loyal and the YouTube and the podcast and the stream team and the stream and like there's lots of people that help that stuff happen. And I tend to think I can do everything, and then everything just gets piled up and everything gets done kind of half-assed. So I'm learning currently, and then during the season now, that's going to help. That a lot of the stuff I do and feel like I have to do and put on my own to-do list can just like with a quick text or message to like one of the YouTube editors or whatever, they're like, oh, I could do that while I'm doing this other thing. And I'm like, oh, I didn't have to do it. Like I don't need to go in and like do an audit of my hashtags on my channel, make sure my suggested video rate is up. Like I can literally be like, hey guys, can we get the suggested radio up? Here's the way, and then they'll help. Like there's a lot of those people, right? Mods have helped a lot with stuff, and just making sure that like if I'm like, hey, what if we tried this? I say it instead of just like saying, oh, we're gonna do it, and then I'll just do it myself. Like that's a big thing I need to continue to get better at. So during the quarantine, I tried to really consciously reach out to people more often, and I'm still so far away from where I need to be, but it's a work in progress, obviously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's legit. Okay.
And I mean, a lot of people were saying about, like, I think that was a great question, because a lot of people were trying to get better at things just to stay sane. Like you said, Kate was losing her mind a little bit too, but we've gotten good. We're already really good at communicating with each other. But
wow,
she's the only person I'm good at talking. Well, I mean, you got to remember, dude. She works from home, and
you're already doing that.
We were already doing it, and we had to move about 100 times together now, and so we would be falling apart if we didn't already have some of these skills, at least to coordinate with what our lives are like. So,
nice.
So question number 2, moving on. Would you ever consider having listeners on the show? And if so, where can I submit my application video? Nowhere. I don't need another group of applications to look at currently. Thank you. But having listeners on the show, I have kicked around, and I haven't actually even told you guys about this again. My communication skills are lacking. But an idea was like how, I hate to use this guy as an example like we always do, but with Tim and remember Tat Talk Tuesday and stuff, and they bring people in, and I know that was kind of a shit show, but like having listeners come in and like scheduling a time where we have a round table.
Oh, okay.
Right. Of people from our streams or whatever. We just get in a Discord channel and make that the podcast one time. I thought that would be cool. I don't know what the format would be.
No, for sure.
I think we talked about that early on.
Something like that. A way to get people who listen and care about the show and have input involved. I thought that would be cool.
Oh yeah, I think that would just be psyched to be on the show. Period. As well. I mean, I don't know want to gas our show up, but I feel like it'd be pretty cool. Like, hey, I'm on this episode. You should listen. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And we, to be honest, our format isn't hyper rigid. It's more like, the content creation's an art, right? And there's lots of different ways to do it. So that would be we're exercising a lot of stuff we learn on the show. Yeah. So like that would be an example of that. I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree as far as the application process. I feel like if you added one more thing to like the things I'm trying to balance in my head, all my spinning plates, I would crumble. So no application process. That sounds awful. But as far as like having people on, I think it'd be super cool to bring in, even if we did like, I don't know, we'd have to maybe vet this first, but I think it'd be kind of cool for like a special guest if we could pick someone even from the live stream, like, hey, in 20 minutes, we're going to have a viewer brought in to ask our guest a question, and like PM essentially goes and like, pick someone, he vets them like, hey, don't say anything super racist or terrible. Like, I don't know, just be normal.
On radio, what you would do is you would call the guy behind, basically behind the scenes, and be like, hey, we're going to get you on in 5 minutes, just hold tight. And then like, I could do that in a different channel, then bring him in. But you have to basically be like, don't be a dick.
Exactly.
I literally just did that like 20 minutes ago. So that's exactly
there you go.
what it is.
Yeah. So I think I'd be totally down with that. That sounds like an awesome idea. It's something we should definitely implement along with 90 other things for season 2. Next question. When will the May Contain Action merch be on sale? Oh, what a great question. Oh yeah. Huge other plate.
Speaking of season 2.
Seriously. So I would, it kind of depends. The thing that's hard with this show in a way, and Trevor can kind of speak to this maybe more or probably less actually. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We need capital. Like things cost money, right? So like doing stuff costs money. Thankfully PM is an awesome dude. He does a lot of this great stuff, which is like $1,000 a month stuff. And he's like just kind of vibing right now. So like we have like really good things set up, and we have like a good logo that wasn't like super, super expensive or anything like that. But like if we want high production value, everything costs like capital. And so I guess it's more like to get something that we're really, really proud of, it's not going to be like cheap. I don't want to release merch that's garbage. I personally don't really want a shirt that's just like
the logo.
Like the logo. Yeah, like it's got to be, I want it to look good. I don't even care because there's two sides. There's like, oh, do you have like baby onesies with your like sure, I'd like to offer you a baby onesie or like a women's fit specific V-neck. Like, sure, but the more options you have, the worse it's going to look, quality wise, at least in my opinion. So I'd like to have a few select items like a shirt, a hoodie, and a hat, like 3 things or whatever, and just have it be absolutely outstanding. But the thing is, we would need to, in my mind, pay someone to design it, and I'd want it to look sharp.
Or community, if you want to just like see if you can tackle it, we're totally down to see what you got.
Also that, frankly. Yeah, if you want to submit something, I'll give you all the credit in the world. If you want to submit something that looks like, hey, I think this would be a sick hat idea, or I think this would be, if you have skills in that, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not obviously saying we're going to just take it and be like, thanks, and whatever. Like,
no, of course not.
But I agree. It does cost money to do merch, and I think that we if we find a theme that we're like, whoa, that's a good idea for like like we threw around the season 1 being like a concert tour shirt where they say all the cities instead shirt. We have the band shirt where we have all the guests in the back. That would be sick. Now, who we used to do that, like DBH or whoever it is, like have the ability to put it on the front and the back. Is the front like cool, like a band, like it looks like we look like a band, like what's going to go on there?
I think there's a legal hurdle. Well, because can we put people's names on the back of a shirt that we sell and get all the profit for? Like, we're going to have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a cool idea, but I don't want to get sued by a guest. Like, oh, cool. Like, I was on your podcast. I didn't give you permission to put my name on the back of a shirt and sell it. So
I was going to send you that suit.
Yeah. Yikes. I mean, thankfully, a lot of the people we've had on are friends, but I also don't want to abuse that relationship and be like, hey, we made money off your name.
Yeah. So, that's the minute. Like, it just being like their name and they're all in the same font. Like, we're not putting logos and, they're, and
true.
I think that's the maximum we'd ever do with other people's names. I highly doubt anyone would even have a remote problem with that.
If you were to ask, I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, but again, there's 30 of it. Like, you know what I mean? There's there's a whole nother, there's a plate. So, but the long story short, we want to, right?
So
we
badly.
Want to do it. Yes.
So badly.
And there's lots of things we can do. I would say probably not do masks because I really don't like people that are branding masks and then selling them. That's kind of feels, I don't know. It feels very weird. Like, frankly, I think I'm going to get some with mine, but they're just going to be for me. Like, I don't think I'm going to give them to anybody unless they, or sell them. I mean, I guess. But yeah, we need merch. I think that'd be an interesting way. There's a lot of, I think season 2, when we have a break in the middle, which, anyone wondering when season 2 is going to be, and I, without, saying for sure with these guys here, it's probably going to be in that, I'd say we should probably do it that time where I'm like, literally don't have a day to even record for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great opportunity to do it then, and then come back, fall's here, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully cases have gone down. I think that's a great time. Maybe do the merch during that break. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, so watch out for that. Anyway, when we take a break, hopefully we'll have some merch lined up. And again, feel free to, if you have a vision or a talent and you want to showcase it and you'd like to tweet at us like a design idea, like, please, more than welcome to.
Yeah. We will give it the eyeballs, that is for sure.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. How do you guys decide which current events to address and which to hold back on? Very interesting question. To be honest, we haven't spent a lot of time on a lot of the big issues, especially even in content creation, like touching on what the heck happened to Doc, because literally still no one knows, which is insane in 2020. Or like, we had a lot of stuff around sexual harassment and Twitch, the entire BLM thing that is gripping the entire nation, coronavirus, all that stuff. We talked about coronavirus a good amount, but like we haven't really like made it like gone really into depth with a guest on that stuff. And it might find its way in more because there's stuff that's becoming more important, and not that like, is out of the scope of the format of the show. But again, Paul and I know all 3 of us actually have pretty strong feelings about some of the stuff. So I think it's important to have that. I think that those things might find their ways in, but for the most part, we try to keep it more educational, light, and more of a conversation with our guests. If the guest doesn't want to like get way into deep in something, we don't. So a lot of times that dictates it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think our general goal is to keep things light. That's not to say that, we don't have strong opinions on things, because like Trevor said, we definitely do. But I personally don't necessarily want to speak on something that I don't have 100% confidence in. And I also don't want to participate in gossip or hearsay. So that's also something I don't really want to do. Like, we can speculate about, what happened to Doc, but at the end of the day, like, is that not even legally speaking? I don't know what the word.
Add to the.
I don't want to add to
crap.
To the garbage that's out there. It's just not necessary. So until it's like, hey, Doc did this and was banned for this, I can have an opinion on that. But until that happens, it's just speculation, and it's only hurting, not helping. So, for instance, however, though, with Black Lives Matter, we talked about that with King Richard, and I brought it up in a way where if he did not want to talk about it, he obviously could. But he was like, let's talk about it. He dove head in, which was great. And then we had an awesome, in my opinion, one of my favorite conversations about that topic. And it was amazing. So it's kind of a balance, right? Like, I don't want to be the podcast personally that's just like, hey, here's the new gossip. Like, what do you guys think about this? This is crazy. Like, especially when it involves people's lives and like their reputations. That's not for me to talk about. Like, I'm not involved. That's kind of how I feel about current events. I'd love to talk about them. I think they're very important. But until we have like hard facts or I feel confident in the subject, I won't talk about it personally.
I think that's a great place to be. I think that's I think we do a good job on it. I think that just pick and choosing our spots, but and how much do we know about it? Honestly, probably how much do we know about a subject? Mostly it dictates it.
Yeah, very true. Like, you obviously know more about baseball, so if you want to go off about MLB or whatever, like, that's obviously your prerogative. Like, I don't know anything about that. I don't want to make a hard stance on anything because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not involved. I don't really have. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, it sucks. The situation sucks. You're not playing for free, so I mean, you kind of are, but whatever.
I am for 2 paychecks. I just found out yesterday, so that's good.
That's fantastic.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
So next question. All right. So who is the weakest link in the liability, boys? Jen.
I was going to say, let's say it on 3. We were both going to say Jen.
Oh, we're going to. Sorry.
We're basically, when it comes to liability, boys, our best. If you ask us a question about what member is something, usually we just pick the one that's not there.
Yeah, usually.
So Jen's not here, can't defend herself. Perfect.
100% Jen.
Her. She also shot me in the back the other day, so I guess she has
sense.
killed me a lot. I don't think I've ever killed Jen, but I think it's more because I've shot her. But I never. You know what? I never kill any of you guys. Maybe I'm not good at aiming.
I don't know that you've. I can't remember the last time you killed me.
I think I just hesitate. I just, like, if I'm not fully certain, like, I just don't want. I really don't want a TK. So, like, I would shoot him in the legs just to make sure, and then it's Jen.
You shot me last night, but you didn't kill me.
I did shoot you last night.
You took my arm.
Took his arm. And we were pretty quick to realize that it wasn't the other guy, and so it didn't die. But then the guy killed him. So
if I could like count, I can't count on 2 hands how many times Jen has been distracted. She's just like, but it's like almost a good thing because obviously she's super successful streamer and absolutely crushing both of us in any way, shape, or form, like absolutely annihilating us, doing great as a content creator, which makes her a distracted Tarkov player. So I'm like, she's like telling me a story or telling Chad a story. I'm like, Jen, we're under fire. There's a 5-man juice squad in front of us. And you're telling me about your dental appointment, which is great. I want to hear about it, maybe after the gunfight. So,
recently, I may have thrown my hands in the air and looked at the camera quite a bit on some comms. like straight ahead of you. And I'm like, you don't even know what direction I'm looking. Like, You know, like a couple
Or
times.
the,
And then you're like, Jen, are you okay? And then 40 seconds later, yeah, I'm good. And you're like, or the dogs are barking in the background here. And we're like, but we love Jen.
and then she's like, my dogs are barking. We know. No, of course we love Jen. She's a part of the Liability Boys.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'd tear me apart with something, you know, if it was her podcast. So
My comms are terrible too. And when she shot me in the back, I didn't say I was going in the hallway. So it actually is my fault. Like she was on high alert staring down a hallway. She's gonna shoot anyone she saw, and I ran out in the hallway. Like, of course I got shot in the back. Like, it's 100% my fault. I'm just giving her crap.
Yeah, of course.
And she's not here to defend herself, which is, you know, that's how we roll. That's
Exactly.
how Liability Boys roll.
100%, Jen. Yeah, you got the next one.
Yeah. So what do both of you think is the change that Fortnite can make to pull the older player base back into the game? Get rid of
well, PM already plays it, so
Yeah.
But don't you play a bunch of just custom games?
I mean, yeah, because that new charge shotgun is so ass. It's just is okay. So you guys haven't played Fortnite in a minute, but charge shotgun is the new pump, and you have to literally hold down the trigger, the left click, and then release it, and then it shoots, and so you charge up the shot.
Okay.
And I remember when I first played it, I was building, and then I pumped somebody in the head, and it hit him for 20, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then he turned around and charged up and hit me for 250. And I was just like, what is happening? And they reduced the tag. And so ever since then, I've hated playing pubs, and I've just refusing to play it. But yeah, a lot of zone wars, a lot of box fights. And I love it. I love it because all my friends play it.
That's exactly.
You know,
that'll keep you in the game for a bit.
If they all played EFT or if they all played COD, I'd be going over there. But you know, all of them are on every night. We have like a 15-person group chat, and we always ask what time we're going to get on. And so, yeah,
that's awesome.
So exactly. So guys, we don't play Fortnite because we all don't play Fortnite. Like, it's more like we stream and we play the majority of our games when we're gaming is on stream. So like, when our friends that we play games with aren't playing it and they're also streaming games, we just play what we're going to stream and enjoy having fun playing with people on stream. Exactly. That's just kind of how it works. That's kind of the way I allow myself to play a lot of video games is because it's got the stream element and it's like, that's just kind of how I work. So it's easier for me to get into things because of that. Like, streaming make things more fun for me because your reaction adds to my reaction, right? So one thing, cool stuff happens or whatever. But what could they change to make the older player base back in the game? I think getting rid of the hyper competitiveness of it is what's drawing all the younger kids into it, because they saw Boogo won $3 million. Like, really, that's when it changed.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the age of kids that play video games, have historically played the most video games anyway. So like, it's just the game itself has moved towards that group of people, and less large content creators and content creators that are our friends play that game. So, you know, like, unless everyone was like, yo, this game's super fun again or whatever, I just think we're past it for us personally. And that's why older people, though, like, there's still a lot of older people that play with their little cousins, or they play, like, a lot of people. I know Rich Hill with the Twins started in spring training just to play with his son. So he plays on Switch with his son. Like, he still plays, and he's not hyper competitive about it, but he understands a lot of people are. But in terms of Twitch, which is how we make these decisions and like make these generalized statements, it's just like the biggest streamer right now is Benji and Mongrel, and they're clicks. And clicks, and they're all 16. Like, exactly. That's it's not Cloak and Tfue and Ninja anymore. So, and Tim, like, so
passed on.
I played with a dad from Tennessee that I met on there, and he started playing because of his kid was playing it, and he wanted to get closer with his kid. And now he's like has a full gaming setup, and we've been playing together for like 2 years. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's fantastic. But yeah, I feel like the reality of it is that I personally don't ever see myself going back to the game, and that makes me a little sad because that game and the people I met through the game have influenced my streaming career the most. I know people that work for Fortnite and for Epic, and they're outstanding, amazing people, and it's been an honor to be a part of like Pro-Ams and World Cup and stuff like that. So it's kind of bittersweet in a way to say, but there's nothing I don't think they could add to really bring me personally back or pull the older player base back other than your child playing it. Because for a host of reasons that all affect it in different ways, from the player base changing to mostly young people, the skill ceiling being through the roof, changes to building and different guns and how they change the guns, which can be infuriating.
And they're so constant too. It's hard to keep up with if you're casual.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. It's hard to keep up with. Also, too, I feel like in general, maybe this is just me, my understanding is that the BR genre is if nothing else, has plateaued. BRs are, in my opinion, leveled off as far as like what you'd have to add something insane for a BR to really be attractive to come back to. Like with Warzone, they added the Gulag, which
Gulag and the
was
money.
a good enough feature. Gulag and money too, a good enough feature to bring people into a BR. If Warzone was strictly just a BR, like there's no extra special features, I doubt as many people would play it.
Oh, 1,000%. No,
There would be
it's
no
all about the
reason.
kill racings and stuff too. That's why every format for every tournament is how many people can you kill, because they set it up so there's so many people in a match, and they can come back a bunch, like infinite number of times, and you can get insanely high numbers. So it's like constantly like people one-upping each other and being the best and whatever. And not only that, it's Call of Duty. It's got a huge player base anyway. So like that was just Fortnite introduced building. No one had seen it. No one would see. It's all about the competitiveness of the outplay and stuff. So yeah. Like you said, I would say maybe not fully plateaued, but definitely like the ability to grow in that genre is diminished greatly. 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So to answer the question, I don't know, something dramatic.
Nothing.
Probably
Not
nothing. Probably nothing at
anything.
this point. It would have to be a different
Nothing.
game. It'd have to be a new game.
Yeah, it served its purpose.
Not even
For
a Paul
us.
skin.
For us, yeah. The only thing I could possibly see to bring it back would be like 10 years from now when they do some sort of nostalgia reboot, but it'll probably still be going by then anyway.
What about an ActionJaxon emote?
Yeah, I got over 300,000
Yeah.
likes or views on that video, and not even a like from Fortnite.
Oof.
Nothing. Hey, we're doing an emote challenge. Submit your emote. Okay, here you go. All appropriate hashtags. Didn't even look my way. So cool. Anyway,
And you got to go to the Pro-Am. Like imagine being someone who didn't get invited who's a pro athlete. You know what I mean?
Invited twice. Yeah, you're busy. It doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. Next question. What is one life goal you want to accomplish in 2021 that would set you up for success for the next 5 to 10 years?
Get deep.
Accomplish in 2021. So for me, I would like to, this is like a personal / professional goal. I would like to pay off a majority of my house and be debt free other than my mortgage. That would be amazing. If I could pay off a huge chunk of my house, I would say hopefully minimum 30, 35%, maximum over 50. If I could pay off over 50% of my house in the next year, like just put pedal to the metal, focus on paying that stuff off and be debt free as far as student loans and credit cards, I would be ecstatic. Wow. I'd
You
look
said
really
aesthetic.
good. I'd look great. So yeah, that would be my personal, because while I love my house, I want to set it up where I can kind of grow into a new one, or when we eventually maybe sort of possibly have kids. So personally, that's me. That's a life goal I have. And obviously I would accomplish that through streaming and content creation, hosting, whatever it may be. So that's me. What about you, Trevor?
Are you interested in hosting? I guess that's an interesting question. I think you would be freaking phenomenal.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Casting and hosting, or at least like emceeing, like Golden Boy.
Yeah, I thought about that. Well, I never pictured myself doing it until I had to do it for different things, and I was like, oh, that wasn't so bad. But well, I host tomorrow night with T-Pain, so that'll be interesting.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he follows me on Twitter, but whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't follow me. That's pretty cool. He follows you.
He will tomorrow.
He will. I hope so. So yeah, it'd be pretty sick to do that on a regular basis. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to host because you are constantly like filling in time holes and you are getting information on the fly that you have to then convey to the audience in a way that seems natural. So it's a lot of work, but I do feel streaming has uniquely positioned me to do that. So
I mean,
thanks,
this
man.
helps too.
True. Yeah.
Right. You've had a lot of practice. You've had actually way more goddamn practice than a lot of people would think you have. I think you, but I don't know. I literally am I'm just spitballing here just from watching stream and like, you're like, I can tell that your favorite things to do are when like you get a good topic that you're interested in and people like, and you want to research it with everybody on chat. Like, I think that a premium ActionJaxon stream, and this doesn't mean that gameplay isn't whatever, but I literally think that like the whole give me links, let's react to like, and create a conversation and hang out with chat. Like, I think that like I could tell that you love doing that. There's no like, am I gonna get killed? You know, like
No, you're not wrong. That's very true. I think that it's hard for me to admit sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, frick, it's been an hour and a half, or it's been 2 hours. I should get into gameplay or something like. But in reality, I could spend the next 3 hours watching dog videos or talking about smokers or whatever, and like, chat would be down with it. So, I think you're right. Thanks, man.
I would say phase. I mean, I would say phase that stuff in as much as humanly possible. But in terms of my goals, I would love to sign a $1 billion contract. That'd be super great. Did you see that Mookie Betts signed a extension for 10 years, $365 million yesterday?
What?
With the Dodgers. We have the same agent. So my agent is effectively off that contract, going to be making more money than I'm going to make every year.
Oh my goodness.
Said, hey man, congrats. Just want you to know I'm not paying for anything ever again. See ya. And he laughed and he's like, it's your turn next. I'm like, I'm a reliever. Come on. I'm trying to get 1% of that.
We just need an exclusive Spotify deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That is $365 million. And the guy's Mookie's a phenomenal guy and he's an amazing player. And for baseball, it's great. But you know, what do I want to accomplish in 2021? I'll be a draft hopefully in 2021. That would be big for me. But setting up success, like I said, I think like everything I was talking about before with communication, I think locking in that quote unquote like team. I think that what I'm realizing, the most successful baseball players and the most successful content creators both have a really great support system around on them in terms of managers, and then whatever else and other ancillary things you need. Like Trevor Bauer is a baseball pitcher. He spends $200,000 a year on an analytics team that like breaks down his whole thing, which I didn't know about until recently. Which is honestly, that's an astronomical amount of money in my opinion for that. But that's just how he's got an engineer's mind. So like he's really interested in it too. Like it's not just this can make me better. It's like this can make everyone better. I could find stuff that I can then use after I'm done playing to make pitchers better. So that's the double. And he started a media company and stuff too. So like those are the types of things I know I want to do. I want to do the things I know about. I want to then help people understand and develop themselves and then get feedback from them and include them in the system, if that makes sense. So if it's pitching or if it's content creation, this podcast, the things we talk about all the time are to help people. That was kind of the idea. Who want to get into it or want to understand what the hell's going on with people. So getting that team to help me do those things for when I'm done playing or when I'm done live streaming and just like I'm more behind the scenes. That's where I want to be long term when I'm done doing the front of the camera and behind the camera. I want to be behind the camera.
Exactly. Yes.
Whether or not that's like opening a baseball academy, because that's where I'm at, you know, when I'm done retired, or if that's or if that's like, you know, helping content creators with a management company or something. You know what I mean? Like those are things I would be interested in doing. or being in media in general, and just like, doing a bunch of different podcasts or doing whatever it is. Like we said, spinning plates, all those plates have directions they can go in.
Yeah.
So I think in the next year, getting the right people involved and then learning to defer and like get feedback and actually get ideas from other people will help a lot in making a lot of those things happen instead of doing it all myself. I still constantly think I can do everything myself. I can't. Nothing's done well if I do it all myself. So I'm trying to get better. So it all kind of ties in. But I think that's the biggest thing in the next 2 years is going to be kind of the times, because as I sign a free agency, wherever that is, I'll be able to actually like schedule out or see like, oh, this is what the next 3 years are going to look like, which that's just not been the case my whole career. So that's it. It's exciting. But that's kind of where I'm looking to do.
I love that.
Yeah. So as you can tell, I've thought about it a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
On to the next one. Are either of you going to be playing Shadowlands? That is obviously World of Warcraft Shadowlands. The new one's coming on.
Obviously.
And will you play any on or off stream? Of course I'm going to play. Are you kidding me? I have not missed a WoW expansion, even though this last one was literally 3 days of just getting the next level, and then I just like stopped. But
yeah,
it's something that during the season I want to have more. I think I just need to like give myself some time. I need something to catch for my attention or something. I think I need to play I think I want to play a class I've never played before or something. I think that would be a way to get me in. But I'll play both. I think that I'm trying to find games that aren't like that I have to feel like I have to stream to play them. Like you were talking about, I think on your stream last night, just about like playing those RPG games. You like play them and you don't want to have to stream them. You don't want to be like, oh, I can't play this because I'm not on stream.
Exactly. There's nothing. Yeah. It almost makes me not like the game a little bit in a way. Yeah, I agree. I will be playing Shadowlands. I'm definitely playing on launch. I'll probably do like a overnight stream, play it. I love WoW. WoW is my most loved game, hands down. It's the game I have the most emotion and memories and things attached to. So I'll definitely be playing it on stream. Off stream, I will probably play it myself as well. I've got to have it. I wish so badly that I could play an RPG game on stream. But the thing is, if I truly love an RPG game, I want to play it to enjoy. And if I'm streaming, there's a certain degree to which I can't, because I have to focus on chat or thanking someone for a resub or a raid or there's just so many other things that will take my attention away from the game or what I'm doing. And it's an entertainment thing at that point. So it's not to say I don't love those things. And like I said, I talked about this last night, but if it's an RPG game and I really like it, I'm probably going to play it off stream. It's just more fun. Dude, just sitting back, it just brings me back to my roots. Sitting on like a couch playing an RPG game makes me think of like a Skyrim when that came out 20 years ago, and they're still selling it somehow. Playing that on my couch all spring break, just dialed in, eating Taco Bell. That's the best. I love that so much. And the thought of bringing that game to stream and only being able to play it when I stream kind of ruins it. So that was a long-winded response to that.
No, I feel the same way. Like I tend to not finish games because I'm not like, so I did that with Fall of the Jedi.
Dude, same. Fallen Order?
Yeah, a Fallen Order.
I still haven't finished it because I had to play it on stream.
I didn't beat it, and I played it 3 different streams, and we got probably halfway through the game, and I just didn't beat it. And Tarkov, and whatever. Yep. It's like it's the same with the show. Honestly, like I'm progressing through some Road to the Shows, and I was like, dude, play Diamond Dynasty, which is like the competitive mode. I'm like, I don't want to compete at this baseball game. I just want to chill and not even really have to pay attention and just talk about baseball. Like that's what we use it for. So I'm not able to do it very much because, frankly, it's just like that's not. I would love to play God of War and I would love to do all this stuff. I just don't have the time to like. I would be playing just God of War forever, and then I wouldn't play with Paul ever again. Like that's just like that's the way it is. Same with Ghost of Tsushima. Like I'm not going to play it on stream. I want to because it's sick, but like everyone's like it's got 50 hours to beat it. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm not going to get 50 hours probably streamed in the season. Probably like that's a lot. right?
That's a lot.
We'll see. But I do want to get more into those. That's why I'm kind of interested in like doing recording more off stream and like doing stuff just for YouTube.
Yeah, and to be honest, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that still isn't really, you still just want to chill, right? You do.
Yeah.
But if I feel like, okay, I'm playing this game and I'm like, quote unquote, wasting time, because I'm not a huge fan of that term. Like I feel like I should be playing video games to create some content around it because that can be valuable. Just because like, what's the point? So I'm that's something I grapple with all the time. But like, to each his own, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, and I view games. I still try to hold games in a way that I can like love and enjoy them. I've seen it a little bit with Tim. He's done better, and he'll probably say the same thing. He's done better recently, where he just has a game that he plays off stream, which is usually WoW, where he just gets to defrag with, like just chill out, play a game because you love it. Video games in general, since streaming has actually they've gotten watered down, which is sad. Like video games become a vehicle by which you entertain and less a vehicle that you achieve some sort of relaxation or escape or disengagement from whatever. So that's how I view them a lot of ways. Games are a way for me to just relax. They're my books, like people curl up with a blanket and they read a book. Like cool. Like I curl up with a blanket and I play Spider-Man. Like, so yeah, anyway, that's how I view them. And I like to keep things off stream for myself. So, next question? What is something you look for in a guest?
Pulse
availability.
Availability.
Yeah. Are you available Thursday at 6? Cool. Fantastic.
You're in, Dan from Ohio.
I mean, there's not a huge criteria. There really isn't. We can make anything work. And that's the kind of the beauty of it is like we've had everyone from huge streamers like Courage to, streamers just starting out and things like that. I think everyone's got a unique story and a valid opinion about things, even if they're greatly different than mine. And I don't know. I just look for a unique experience, I guess. But yeah, it's less stringent than you would think. It's pretty much just like, are you available at this time? We like what you do. You seem like a nice person. Like, I guess don't be a jackass is probably our biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm maybe a little bit more straight than that, but again, the format is to know that they have to be a content creator first of all.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. That kind of go on without saying
because yes. And usually with some sort of measure, I don't call it success, but some sort of measure where something worked, if that makes sense. Like they found something somewhere. Yeah. Like a prime example would be, and honestly, American Dad has absolutely been killing it lately, which is awesome. Yeah. Even since we talked to him, he has been so consistent. And a lot of his stuff started with like short videos on Twitter, and that's kind of pushed to a stream. But like that is a dynamic that he's done really well, and it's working really well. So like diving into that was something that it's very specific for him. We're like, that is something we want to know about. And then we had Jesse from Power GPU who uses content to build his business.
Yes,
that's a different angle. So there's like okay, how did that come to be? And then we just go from there and then learn about their journey as a person. American Dad was in the military and then came and became a content creator. And Siegel has been literally a gamer since the moment he came out of the womb. Yeah, exactly. Again, I didn't know that. It makes a lot of sense. Just his general knowledge about literally every game ever made.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, those are different. They kind of they're in the same realm now, but they come from completely different places. That is the point of the pod. So we're finding people who have different skill sets and do it in a different way. Set drums is drums. One of our future, I don't know if we've announced them, but I'm about to. Milton, who we're trying to Milton T. Pike. Incredible, like role player, like incredible. Like he's like Legion, and when they met each other when we played Pummel Party, it was the greatest day of my life. When those two guys realized how funny each other were and how similar they were. So, but Milton's going to have an amazing story too, and I know that's something we went on. Courage has an amazing story. Tim's got an amazing story, and then Jen, how Jen is. How quickly she has found success in streaming was because of the way she kind of didn't do it on purpose. The way she made herself a part of a large community for a game, and everyone knew her before the stream started. And that helped her there. That was a different way a lot of people get to where they get, and she's different. She was early in her journey as opposed to Cypher, who's 10 years. So like we're looking for the variety of different people playing different games and the different ways to get to. So if we know enough about their story to know it's going to be really cool and interesting, but we don't know anything outside of that, and then they give us all of it during. That's kind of what we're looking for. And there's just everyone kind of fits there, at least that we've had so far. But like, I agree. We don't mean this in any offensive way at all, but like, people are like, I don't really make content, but I would love to be on the show. Like, that's not what the show's about.
It's not like you just play Fortnite 4 hours a day.
Yeah. And that's just not what the show's about. People for the sake of interviewing you.
Yeah, it's about their stories, and it's about learning from their stories. I think that we're doing a good job of that.
Next week, our guest, Whips. That's going to be a good one too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Whips.
We're moderating.
Just to see how that side goes too.
There will be swearing in that one, just so everyone knows.
Oh boy,
there will be swearing.
Oh me. Oh
Whips is someone who gets very passionate about everything they say. All right.
That was a way better answer than I had. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think that you know all that stuff.
Available.
I just think that we're just trying not to get too crazy about it.
Yes.
So final question. I said there's less questions, but still we're talking forever. Like, because we love talking. If you have to survive on an island for 30 days, 5 items do you bring? I will start this one. I will bring a pocket knife with all those attachments. Pretty much going by the fact that Kate and I watched Castaway and everything he didn't have. That's what I want.
Okay.
So that'll take place of the ice skate he used for everything. I would take a very, very high quality canvas tent. That'd be phenomenal. Okay. I would take some sort of lighter with a good amount of fuel. Like, it lasts for 30 days. That'd be great too. I wouldn't have to rub two sticks together to make a fire. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Some sort of large container for holding rainwater.
Okay.
That'd be really like a 5-gallon bucket or something would be sick.
Yeah, for sure. Good idea.
And then lastly, I would bring the Lord of the Rings books. J.R. Tolkien. Boom.
Nailed it. No, that's beautiful. You
so
gotta read
I'm
something.
Alive. I can use the pocket knife to make weapons and stuff, to get food. I can make fire, and then I'm not bored out of my mind.
I love that.
Because the Lord of the Rings books are like 30 million thousand pages.
Really smart. Really smart. You'd be there 30. You wouldn't even be able to finish those in 30 days, I feel like.
So I can read really fast.
Okay. Well, I just watched the show Alone on Netflix, so I have an idea of the things I'd like to bring to this. One is definitely I can't remember the name of it now immediately, but it's essentially a fire stick. It's like a fire rod. You use it to strike flames. It's very easy. You just done. The lighter the fuel thing gets hairy because, like, what if there's a hole in the fuel, or you lose the fuel or something? You know what I mean? You got to think about that. So a way to just make a spark. Period. That I would bring a gun. Just gonna bring a gun. If I got to hunt for meat or something, I'm not gonna mess around with a bow and arrow or try to trap things. I'm just gonna shoot it. So gonna bring a gun. I would also bring, let's see, what's my other item? Probably a tarp for my shelter. I probably make my shelter. I'd bring a hatchet as well.
Yeah.
To chop things down, because that's going to be a pain in the nutsack to try to like make a shelter without that. And then also probably lastly, a satellite phone, because I want to get the heck out of there. You know what I mean? And probably just, hey, it's day 4. I've had enough.
Cheers. How's Obi? How are you raising Obi by yourself? Is he crazy still? Have you fixed him by the time I get home? Thank you.
Have you fixed? Is he still a little shit, or is he better? Like, what's the deal?
Nice.
No, I love my dog, by the way. He's just a puppy and he's a little shit when he's a puppy. So that's what it is. I don't know. I don't understand it. He just gnaws on everything. He poops. He's pooping all the time. Thank you for those questions, by the way. Please use hashtag AskMCA. It is very helpful for days and stuff like this where, we have scheduling conflicts or no one wants to be on the pod because they hate us and things like that where we just, don't have a guest. So please give us these questions. We'd love answering them. Obviously, Trevor could talk for days and I can as well. So now it's time for our ad. Guys and gals, it doesn't really matter. We're opening up. Quarantine is basically over unless you live in a hotspot, and you don't want to go on a date with a gigantic man bush. You want to take care of that thing, all right? When it starts going from the bottom of your belly button down to the tips of your knees, you got a problem, all right? Take care of it with Manscaped, all right? The Lawnmower 3.0 is their brand new blade. It's the best hygiene tool for the modern man. It's got ceramic blades, skin-safe technology. You're not going to snag anything when you're down there. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be clean. It's got a super powerful motor in that thing, so you're gonna get through all that tough grass, no problem. All right. Also, it's got an LED light, so you can see where you're going. I think that's great. I like to shave my balls in the dark. It's very helpful with an LED light. Also, you can get Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with a new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, which I've just described, as well as a travel bag and some boxer briefs, which are also very comfortable. I have those boxer briefs. I wear them all the time. Perfect Package 3.0 also comes with a crop preserver and a crop reviver. Crop preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant, so make sure your balls don't stick to your leg. It's also got the Crop Reviver, a spray-on toner for your balls, made with a soothing aloe and witch hazel extract. Give your balls a little nice, little fresh, little pick-me-up, little boost throughout the day. Also, subscribers to the Peak Hygiene Plan get a new replacement blade for their Lawnmower 3.0, delivered to their house every 3 months, making sure your trimmer stays fresh and clean. Tunnel for post-apocalyptic America. I'm kidding. We got a long way to go. But quarantine is almost over, and you want to be sure you're not covered in hair like a Sasquatch. Trim up your balls. And while you're at it, when you're at manscaped.com, use code MCA for 20% off your order and free shipping. That's code MCA for 20% off your order and free shipping. Big shout out to Manscaped being one of our first sponsors of the podcast here at Making Action. Really great work. Great trimmer. We use them all ourselves, and they really do make an outstanding product. Simply the fact that it's cordless has been one of my favorite things in the world, not having to be attached to a wall. So check it out, guys. Again, code MCA, 20% off, free shipping.
It's good.
It's good.
It's real good.
Use it.
I have two of them for some reason, and they're great. So
You have two? You use both at the same time?
I had a what? Great idea. I had a personal sponsor stream with them, and they sent me out the stuff, and I was like, well, I already have the stuff. They're like, don't tell them that. I was like, okay. So I got two of everything.
Wow.
Which is great. And now they know. So if I'm sure they listen to the pod. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But
sure.
It's great.
The best thing they have is the newspaper that they give you.
The newspaper.
Also, cool. Yeah, the newspaper is actually kind of sick. Yeah.
To put on the floor, which is like, really. But nice touch. Really, really good. Good marketing.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on to the guest specific events. Basically, just we're using this as a current events section. There's a couple topics we can touch on. And I'm really interested to get the opinions on a couple of these things. The first, though, current. I don't call it drama because I think it's pretty important to have an opinion one way or the other. But the Army has the United States Army, and I believe it's the Army is the only one really putting lots of time and effort, but into sponsoring events in efforts to kind of recruit pretty heavily out of the Twitch community. Now, I know that certain politicians are taking this kind of like not liking it very much. To be honest, I'm not fully. I haven't seen a lot of very specific examples. Like what I've seen are like, you know, the Call of Duty tournament. I know that their armed forces has like their own like team that they have and play with, and and I understand it, but at the end of the day, and this is kind of maybe not the popular opinion, but usually I'm on that side, but at the end of the day, like when it comes to the military, having people constantly volunteering is how you get people.
Yeah.
And the people that are of your age group are very heavily the age group that you would that would be making that decision, 18, 19 years old, or 8, you know, to 22 out of college, you know, all that younger adult age group is just, there's a lot of those people on Twitch.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense. Now, the tactics that you do or need to be a little bit tasteful, obviously, but I understand why they're doing that. Like it's all about like, where's your market at? Oh, it's over there. We should probably be doing things in that realm, so that people are aware that we exist, and that we have these certain, you know, things that we can do for you if that's something you're interested in doing. But again, it is, you know, at the end of the day, it's volunteer.
Yeah.
You know, like no one's being forced to do anything. So
Exactly. I feel like
kind of where I'm at.
That makes sense. I'm you know, without being tuned to like views on like the military and all this kind of stuff, which you know, I definitely don't not respect the military. Like I appreciate anyone, especially any of our listeners, as well as like obviously American Dad and whatnot, who have served, is outstanding. As far as like the recruiting, it has a weird feel to it, right? Like I feel like we're talking about it because it has a weird like kind of a thing to it. I somehow
like using Call of Duty, for example,
it feels odd. Exactly, because you're what's the word I'm looking for? Not dramatizing. You're sensationalizing war in a way.
Yeah.
And when you pair, hey, this is the army. This is what we do, and this is what we stand for. By the way, we need people. Also, how cool is Call of Duty, right? Like, pretty neat. Pretty
you could
cool.
do this in real life. Yeah, that's the
got
connection being
drones and
made.
stuff. Yeah, like that makes it feel like a subversion. So that's why I don't really like it.
Like that's not what it's like, guys. You know what I mean?
No, it's
like,
not. It's just not.
Maybe
And
we'll
for
call
you
that.
to put your life on the line and realistically the lives of your family members, because if something happens to you, they're affected. For the sake of, I don't know, I thought COD was pretty cool, is like a weird way to recruit someone. So
yeah, that does feel right. 100%.
It doesn't.
I get why the recruitment would go there, because you got to recruit somewhere. But I also like we said, the way that you do it, right,
Yes.
has to be not like that.
Exactly. If you're going to
That doesn't feel like
recruit
the right way.
in a way, I think that's like an ethical way to do it would be to, I understand that your demographic, the people you're looking for to volunteer, are on Twitch. Perfectly makes sense. And I don't think there's anything wrong in this society with knowing your demographic and advertising to your demographic. That's fine. But to specifically do it through Call of Duty or a military-based game seems unethical. If you were just to put a blanket ad campaign on Twitch, like everyone from Magic the Gathering to EFT is going to get your ad, cool, that's fine. But if you're like, man, Call of Duty's pretty sick, look at those gun attachments, you can totally do that in real life, that feels disingenuous, and since it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like that's just not it's selling a dream that there might be people susceptible to that don't fully understand or haven't had the life experience to know that. Of course, it's not like that, right?
Yeah,
but the one thing that intrigues me is the fact that politicians are now making it so they can't ban people in chat for bringing up war crimes.
Really?
Which I find really interesting, because what is that going to shape for the future of Twitch? Yes, I forget her name. She's very Twitter famous. I'm blanking on her name.
AOC.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She came out and she was like, you know, we're going to sue yada 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 because you can't prevent people's First Amendment right. If they want to bring this up in your Twitch chat, you can't ban them. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, is that going to stop like Billy from Ohio from spamming a bunch of things and then being like, oh, it's my First Amendment right to spam this.
I think that might just apply to if it's an official army channel, like they're running their channel.
That's an interesting way to put it because
it's
like, go ahead.
Government. It's a government like agency.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a public forum through Twitch, which technically, if Twitch wants to like ban anything, they can because it's their platform. Like, you know what I mean? They can decide to do it or not. Like, it's not we're not out in the marketplace. It's not like an open. Twitter is not the marketplace. You can't just be out in the middle of it like talking about anything you want. They can censor it as much or as little as they want to a certain extent. But because it's a military organization, government organization, and they are choosing what you can and can't talk about, that makes it weird now. Because like, is the government now an entity, like a citizen? Does that make sense? Like they can are they held to a different standard? Like if I were to make a stream and I didn't want people to talk about war crimes on my channel, no problem, banned, done. Like we don't have to talk about it because it's my channel. But if I'm the government and I decide I want to ban you for talking about that thing, now it's weird because I'm the government.
Well, yeah, that's actually what the First Amendment is. Like, it's action taken against you for the things you're saying as the government entity, as opposed to a person who controls it. Like,
there you go.
It's my ability. I have all the rights in the world to remove someone's ability to speak in my channel at any point I want because I'm a person. But when you say the government's then removing someone's ability to speak, then you get all in the legal, gray area. That's basically what's happening. Probably like that's mostly. And to be honest, without actually like, I read a couple articles on it, and they didn't talk about specifically like which channels or what it was about. Just that she wanted to do it, and I get it. And of course, she's the the really loud, for the people person, and a lot of her move stuff that way, that direction. I understand that, but it's a conversation that needs to be had because again, that can't just go unchecked. Like you said, it's a weird situation. But I just thought I'd get thoughts on it because I was kind of in the forefront and on the old internet earlier. But
100%.
We can go in a little bit into we're going to go from serious to happy as we move through these. Second one, variety streaming. You were talking about it yesterday. You actually someone said you replied to it. I can't remember the person in your chat, but they said you can't grow as a variety streamer. Those guys have been around for a long time. You said Diane's Gaming and Co. and blah blah blah.
Yeah, that was Wavy into the podcast. Wavy said that.
We said that.
Wavy said you can't grow
as a variety streamer. Hasn't he grown pretty good recently?
What'd you say?
Hasn't he grown recently being variety? A good amount.
I don't necessarily answer that question because I don't know.
You don't know for sure.
I don't know his analytics. You know what I mean? Like, I don't,
good point. That was a dumb question.
No,
but,
that's fine.
But I understand that. I understand that it's probably not. It's a much longer road, right now, just from a sheer competition standpoint than they had. That's for sure. But
yes.
I also agree. I also believe that there is a very clear formula for creating a variety channel that is very clearly a variety channel that guys like Co and Dan do and Giant Waffles, another one, like the Nerd Fusion guys. A lot of them are variety guys. Yeah. Like Waffle has 5,000 to 6,000 viewers. No matter, he'll play balloons or he'll play, like, it does not matter.
Yeah.
And it's the style in which he plays games that fits perfectly into the variety. Like, I'm going to play this game and we're going to do, but like, JP was telling us last week, he's so crazy in on analytics and scheduling and just being on top of like, this is what we're going to play and this is why we're going to play it. And then when he plays it, he's like, oh, I'm going to learn this game, and we're learning, and I'm going to be very articulate with how I'm learning the game and what I'm trying to accomplish the whole time.
Yeah.
That people tune in for that. Like, that is what he does, but his whole personality and the whole way that he plays games is based on the idea that he's playing different games constantly.
Yes.
So like the way that Tim's funny or, rages or whatever people like about him, Co is that in organization. And he's got a great personality as well, and that all. But the personality all builds into everything is built. I am a variety streamer, and this is how I stream. And on days I'm going to have 4,000 viewers, and then days I'm going to have 20,000 viewers.
Yes,
but and I understand popularity of the game dictates that a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get more opportunities of people coming to check out what game I'm playing more and more often because of the way that I stream. And does the same thing just as good. Again, you're going to see fluctuations a lot more than you see with a person that plays one game and gets some success. It's going to take. You're going to see fluctuation on a day from day to day, not just like month to month.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's hard. That's the hard part. Staying with it is the hard part, but it is. I believe it's possible.
That's a good point.
Yeah, people are doing it well.
I think that you will see far more fluctuation, and so that will change your perception of your success because of the level of fluctuation. But what I can't remember. I think it was Dreads, one of my friends on stream, who's also my mod, was like, I'm pretty sure it was him. He was like, there's also personality streamers. And it doesn't really matter the game they play, because like we brought Lupo, for instance. Lupo is not necessarily a one game only streamer. He does play majority Tarkov, but he will also play Animal Crossing or Destiny or, COD, occasionally Fortnite, like whatever game he kind of wants to play, and he'll maintain a certain level of viewership. He'll have fluctuation based off of the games that are more popular, less popular, but he will retain his core group of viewers because at the end of the day, his personality is the thing that brings them to the stream every day. It doesn't really matter what he plays as long as he is still him. So I think to say that you can't grow as a variety streamer is like a misnomer, because it's not really addressing the actual streamer. It's just saying that if you change up your game, you can't grow, which I don't think is true.
Yeah,
I think that if your personality is not relatable, then you can't grow. So you have your core of your personality of who you are as a person, as a streamer. If people like that and they relate to it, they think you're funny, or they think you're knowledgeable, or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter what it is, whatever it is that they relate to you with. That will bring you success. And you are then deciding, all right, you kind of choose like light side or dark side. Am I going to go single game only and just try to grow off of that and bring people into my personality, or will I grow with variety and bring people into my personality that way? I think variety is far more volatile. But I think the highs and lows of a single game streamer are also high and low. You will have very big spikes and very low lows depending on how the game does. But at the end of the day, you are you. And as a streamer, you will bring people in or not, regardless of the game you play.
And the very basic baseline of this is you should be making the decision based on if you like to get way into a game and play it all the time, or if you like to change up the game all the time. Like that's something you like to do. If you're like, yo, dude, I like playing different games every 4 days. I like playing those 10-hour, playthrough games and just beating them all. Yes. And that's and then I want to do Minecraft like speed runs to kill Ender Dragon, or whatever it is. Like if that's what you do, then make that what you do. Do that, and then schedule the shit out of it, and create the idea where people like, I know what's happening all the time, and the fact that you're variety, I'm still going to tune in every day because it doesn't matter what it is. Like that's the thing that's what the easier part. I think that's the key. The easier part with one person game, at least when you log in, you know their stream times, you know what they're playing, so you're more apt to go. But if you're hyper organized, and maybe if you tuned in yesterday, you know what I'm playing today, and I'm a variety guy, that's going to give as close to that effect as you can get, which will then bring people back consistently to at least give the game a shot. So I think that's what Code does better than anything. Every one of his titles is at 8 p.m. tonight, we're playing this. At 9 a.m. tomorrow, we're playing this. And like, that's his title. And everyone's like, oh. So they don't even have to go into the stream. They're like, oh, tomorrow I want to watch that, so I'm going to go then. Like, and that's fine. And he's cool with that. As opposed to like, fragging, and then it's it's Call of Duty.
I'm gonna have a call in the pod.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was Nick Merckx's title for 60 straight days.
Fragging. Yeah.
Fragging. But like, you knew what he's gonna do, and he
knew
built
what
his
it's
community
about.
around that. So like, again, like that's it. Like, and now people go and they watch Paul because they want the thing about the you got to wipe twice to know you only should have wiped once type thing.
It's true.
All right, last quick. I just want your reaction on this. I watched the Xbox unveil, and the last thing they showed was Fable. There's a new Fable game, which dude, that like tickled every fancy I had at the time. When Fable came out originally, Lude, it was like Lord of the Rings was like Return of the King just come out, and I was all in that like fantasy, like you know, magic and let me be a hero and all. And then every fantasy book I've ever read since has that dynamic in it. So like Fable's just like a phenomenal game. I'm sure they'll have all kinds of. I mean, I hope they don't. They're gonna try to like. They're gonna do like Fallout. It's gonna have Fallout mechanics. Like you remember you could build a house in Fable 3 or whatever. Like, there will probably be like a home based thing going on with all these cool mechanics. They can either swing a miss on that or crush it. But as long as, dude, I can like develop my character over time, and I hope there's a lot of content, and I'm gonna love that game. What do you think?
I 100% agree. I think that if it's the Skyrim model. It's like you just get to be a hero in this world, and people love that. I hope personally, I didn't see the launch about it, but I don't want online to be a major focus. Personally, I don't care so much about being online. I think it's cool to share experiences and like see other people's stuff, but what got me into like Skyrim and those was the single player RPG. I'm the best person in my world. I am the coolest. I am the most powerful in my world. The moment you bring in multiplayer and now like this guy's got better gear than me, it's like I thought I was the hero. Like what happened? I don't know what's going on. So that gets me jacked up. I'm super pumped about Fable. That's a game I'll play off stream. That's just gonna play off stream.
Honestly, I'll wait. I'll let other people play it. It depends on the number of hours it takes to play it. Maybe do a quick playthrough or whatever on stream. But yeah, it's probably gonna be off stream. I'm trying to get more into that stuff as a decompression too. But like, dude, the trailer's pretty cool too. You should watch it.
I want to watch after this.
Before we move on to the game, which PM has for us, don't forget to sub to the damn YouTube channel, please.
Sub to the YouTube channel. Do it.
Huge shout out. Actually, we're over 1,000 subs now. We're building it, but ring the damn bell and sub to it. Thank you.
Really quick note on that. Super quick. Apparently, according to MKBHD, who is a very successful YouTuber, I did not know this, but he was talking about black content creators and how like people are like, hey, like put your favorite black content creators here. We want to sub to them and all this kind of stuff. He was like, that's great. Do that, but watch their videos. Because apparently, I didn't know this, according to the YouTube algorithm, if people sub to your channel but don't watch your content, that signals to YouTube that your content is not good or not enjoyable, and you are less likely to get recommended. So I didn't know that. So please sub to the channel, but sub to the channel if you plan on watching the videos. Otherwise, your sub actually may hurt more than help.
Okay, watch our YouTube.
Just watch it. Watch it, and if you like it, subscribe, please. If you're watching our video, that's actually another thing. If you're watching the videos on YouTube and not a subscriber, we need that algorithm. We need that tick. So please subscribe.
Click-through rate is actually the number of thing driving. So yes, that like please. You see it, you see the video, and then you click on it and you watch it. That's the biggest thing. So that would be helpful if you could, consume your content. If that's where you consume all your content, consume the podcast there. Thank you. All right, let's do a game.
Do it. PM.
Okay. By the way, how does my mic sound? Do I sound messed up at all? My internet's been cutting in and out. Just want to make sure it doesn't cause any problems.
Sound great.
Perfect. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do the numbers game, the Factor Fable one, the one that Paul, stole from me, but it's okay.
It's Factor or Fable, by the way. Go on.
Yeah, Factor or Fable, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, basically this one is going to be sports related because MLB and the NBA are coming back. So I feel like this is going to be good.
Yeah. All right.
These are really hard. I'm just gonna let you know right now. These are really hard. And
all right.
Yeah. All right. We'll just get into it. So the first number is 43. Okay.
43.
43. Is it the number in inches? Okay. For the shortest man to ever play Major League Baseball? Or is it Shaq's highest peak song on the Billboard Hot 100?
Alexa, how many feet is 43 inches?
3'7".
3'7" inches. I need. Thank you. Okay. There's no. What? Alexa, shut up! I'm done with you. Frick, I'm gonna say the player.
Okay.
Hi to the player.
It is high to the player.
I'm going to the player. You guys are both correct.
Hell
First
yeah.
one down. So yeah, shortest man to ever play in the MLB is 3 feet 7 inches. His name is Eddie for the St. Louis Browns. I don't know his last name. I don't want to pronounce it.
Eddie, some weird name, and he was number 1A.
Something like that. Yeah. So according to his manager, and this is a quote about him, he said he was, by golly, the best darn short person who ever played big league baseball. It was because he was the only one. So that was a quote from his manager.
By golly,
he's a very good player. And then Shaq's highest peak song is "I Know I Got Skills" with Def Jam, and that was in 1993 at number 3 in the U.S. So
wow,
charting.
Yeah, I was gonna say
there.
there's no way 43. Like, yeah, it was higher than that.
It's really hard to chart. So
Not for
Shaq.
Shaq.
Okay, all right.
Not for Shaq.
Okay, next one is 6. This is the one Trevor might get pretty easily, so I'll let you go first, Paul. 6. Is it the amount of seasons that Sammy Sosa hit 60 home runs in?
Oh boy.
Or is, and this question is kind of tricky, this next one, if you need me to re-explain it, I will. Or is it in the amount in games, so 6 games, that Steph Curry makes that equals to what Wilt Chamberlain made in an entire year of salary?
What's the number again?
6.
Sammy Sosa.
Okay.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. Correct answer is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So
You set
he
me
made
up.
There's only
Yeah, I
been
know.
like 4 total seasons of 60-plus homers, so.
So Steph Curry
Everybody.
made on average $250,000 in 6 games, and that was what Wilt would make in 1 season. So think about the
Goodness.
difference in that.
Wilt
And
still-
then exactly. And then
Still.
Sammy Sosa hit 60 home runs in 3 seasons, and fun fact, he didn't lead the league in homers in any of those seasons. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh wow.
kind of crazy. So okay, next one. The number is 1996, so it's a year. Is it the year that Dennis Rodman infamously and illegally tried to marry himself, or is it the year that the last shortened baseball season happened?
Last short in baseball.
Dennis Rodman.
Correct answer is Dennis Rodman.
Oh come on!
94, shortest season.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
the last shortened
gosh.
season was 94 over a labor dispute on August 11th. The players just decided to stop playing, and that was the end of it. So, and then Dennis Rodman infamously had an interview, and you saw it in the Last Dance documentary when he just said he was going to marry himself. So,
I freaking forgot that you actually literally told me that happened last night, Trevor.
Yep. No, I said the exact thing.
Literally told me the exact thing. Yeah. Oh, whatever. 2 to
it's all
1.
right.
3
So
to 1.
2 to 1. 2 to 1.
2 to 1.
Yeah, 2 to 1.
I've gotten all
It
3.
should be 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, 3 to 1. Sorry.
yeah.
1 to
okay.
1. Got it. All right.
Okay, so the number is 35. This is kind of a jab at you guys since you're in your 30s. Who is okay? So is it the oldest rookie in the NBA named Pablo Prigioni, or was it the amount in innings that Braves and Dodgers players are the Braves and Dodgers played in 1920, where each team only used 1 pitcher?
There's no 35 innings, 1 pitcher. His arm would fall off. There's no.
I could do it.
Okay, reliever.
Yeah, no one could do it.
That's impossible. No, the first thing.
Yeah, it's Pablo Guccione or whatever.
Pablo
Prigioni.
Guccione. Yeah,
Prigioni. Yeah, the correct answer is Pablo Prigioni. He debuted for the
thank
Knicks in 2012 at the age of 35. The Braves and Dodgers, for the other answer, is tied 1-1 in 1920 due to darkness after 26 innings played, where there was only 1 pitcher for each team.
Still 26 innings, 1 pitcher.
What are you doing, dude? You don't care about your players at all.
What are you just underhand tossing it by like the 18th inning? There's no
Dude,
way.
they were literally throwing like 70. So
Oh my goodness.
That's still crazy though. Okay, so Trevor wins by default. This is the last one coming up.
Oh.
It's 4-2, right? So we'll just this is by far the wackiest one. I did not know this was a thing until I researched it. So the number is 1977. Okay. Is it the year that Glenn Allen Hill, a former outfielder and now coach in baseball, woke up after a nightmare about spiders chasing him and made him fall through a glass table while sleep running, making him miss the next couple games? Or is it the year that Caitlyn, formerly Bruce Jenner, was drafted in the NBA?
Spiders.
Spiders.
You going spiders?
Both going spiders.
You're both incorrect. Even though that is a
No
crazy story.
freaking way. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, so that coach said he had a nightmare about spiders chasing him, and he ran into the living room where he fell into his glass table. So,
ran.
Yep.
Imagine.
One of those like lucid dreams kind of things, where he gets up and he's just, you're in that state.
Honestly,
really
I'd
odd
run
state.
too. I get it. I get it.
And so then the correct answer, Bruce Jenner, was drafted by the Kansas City Kings, now Sacramento, in the 77 as a 7th round selection. He never played a single minute. It was a publicity stunt all along. He was fresh off the heels of a gold medal in 76. And the Kings needed attention and respect because the Chiefs were dominating them in their own city and marketing. So,
Wow.
the more you know.
I did
And-
not. Well, good for them. Also tell your dogs to shut up, dude. We're recording a podcast.
I know. Ivy.
Hell is that, dude?
I thought it was Obi being a shit.
No, that's Ivy.
Being a shit.
And
that's
yeah,
what he's
that's
known
the game.
for. Nicely done.
Very nice.
PM with the game.
I'm the W. I win. I'm the best.
Nicely done. You know what I like to think after this podcast?
What? The boys are here.
The boys are here. All three of us doing this, making it work. Thank you. Thanks for that.
I'm doing a remix for you.
Dude, no, great job with that. You did that game in like 2 seconds. Nicely done. You freaking crushed that.
Crushed it.
It takes me like 5 hours to make Factor or Fable. I have like 4
Reddit's a
different
lifesaver.
spreadsheets open. I'm like,
Ooh, Reddit.
Yeah.
wait, what? Reddit?
Ever
Yeah,
since Reddit told me to reset my account, dude, I can't trust it.
I know, right?
Oh my
No,
God.
just do like random, like statistical, like funny stats, Reddit, and something will come up.
Wow. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you, Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll give credit to where credit's due. All right. Our last segment. Again, shout out to our producer PM for facilitating that game. Our last segment is who have you been watching lately? Who have you been watching lately? Now, I am certainly not biding my time to think about someone I've been watching lately. Actually, you know what? I do have someone I've been watching lately, and it's super freaking weird. I gotta look it up because I don't want to get the name wrong. I was up till 3:30 in the morning watching this. I've been watching a YouTube series or YouTube channel. It's the YouTube channel is called CW Lemoine, I believe it is. C.W.Lemoine. It's a former U.S. Air Force like fighter pilot, and he has this segment called Mover Ruins Movies. I think Mover is his call sign. So Mover Ruins Movies. He just goes through a bunch of different movies with flight scenes, critiques the hell out of them, and I was
Love it.
fascinated. He was just talking about like, that's not real. That's stupid. That's a fake sound. They made that up. That's not a real display. That is real. They do that. And I was like, they do? I was enthralled.
Ooh, I should do that.
It was super. Yeah, do that for like, if you're a professional in anything, you could make a whole series off of like critiquing stuff or reacts. And it's a rabbit hole I will gladly go down any day of the week. I freaking love it. I don't know why, but this dude breaks apart. Like, surprisingly, by the way, Independence Day, fairly accurate. Fairly accurate. Like, there are some weird things. Like, for instance, there's like this scene where they show him like going to the alien spaceship. He's like, oh, I mean, there's definitely a problem with this jet. All of his lights are on. I mean, apparently his landing gear's down. He's got a fuel leak. The engine's on fire. And I was like, I didn't realize any of those buttons did that. So super random, very weird. CW Lemoyne. He makes YouTube videos and he has a Twitch channel as well. He does flight sims, which I'm like weirdly really into, and I want to kind of get into. So
It's awesome.
thank you, Trevor. What you got?
The dreamiest man on Twitch himself, Anthony Kong fan.
Oh,
I've been watching playing Tarkov, dude. Him and Grims just like run around, like just super, just like whatever.
Just juiced out.
Like juiced out, not really worrying about anything, and no anxiety. Oh well, he killed me. Okay, well let's get another one. I'm just like, dude, everything's such the end of the world. Like for me, even though last night was not bad. Like to be honest, that was the least anxious I've been in that game for a long time. But he's just a chill dude. Plays a bunch of different games. Incredible first-person shooter guy. Him and Grims play constantly together. If you're familiar with Grims, I believe that I've given Grims as as an example for this exact segment before. So
yeah, you have.
But those two guys play constantly. Another OPG guy. He also moved on, but showing him some love, and he's got a great setup. And he's got the world's hugest computer chair, like one of those huge, like brown leather, like sofa chairs. Like it's gigantic. I'm like, that thing looks like it's really sweaty, but also really comfortable.
Imagine the ball sweat on that thing. I mean, my goodness.
So Anthony, he's a great dude. Check him out on Twitch.
Anthony Kong fan, love it. And last but of course not least, our lovely producer PM. Who have you been watching lately?
Oh boy. Okay, so besides you two, because anytime you guys are live, I have you two on, so I just want to give you two guys props. You guys are both amazing content creators, and I feel like that doesn't go unnoticed. So I just want you to know that.
Thanks, man.
So I have two in mind. One, Paul, you know pretty well. Trevor, I think you know him. It's Supreme Binks, a good friend of mine.
Oh yeah, Supreme Binks, love it.
I just like his community. I think it's a great little community he has, and I just like to pop in there and hang out when I'm eating food or eating dinner. He's a big golf video game PGA guy. That's kind of his thing. He can't golf to save his life, but he loves doing that. So Supreme Binks with the Z at the end is one of them, and then my other one on YouTube. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so I'm a Nike sneakerhead to the T. And anyone from this area would know that, but there's a guy in Seattle named Richie Lee who does a lot of sneakerhead stuff. And so anytime he posts stuff, I watch it, whether it's like the top fives of the sneakers to sell or to wear, or the do's and don'ts of streetwear. Like I'm a very big fashion guy. So that's one thing that I always watch. So those two for sure.
Richie Lee, very cool. And Supreme Binks, great, longtime viewer, big supporter of my channel as well. And I always... Actually, whenever I see those types of videos, PM, like the sit or sell, I'm very curious to see what's going to like sit and what's going to actually sell out. And it's not always what I would think.
Well, the Air Jordan Dior's.
Oh my gosh.
If you can get those for $20,000, buy them.
Air Jordan Dior. It's like the gaudiest thing I can imagine.
They are beautiful. They're
my
beautiful.
gosh.
Yeah, but not worth the price. So
fantastic. So we got CW Lemoyne, Anthony Kong fan, Supreme Binks, and a bonus Richie Lee. So any of our viewers would like to check out some new content, something that I might be interested in, there you go. What have you been watching lately? Something to have on the side monitor while you're doing, I don't know, no work at all, because everyone's furloughed. So but that actually brings us to the end of the show. We did it. It's a couple of nice little host show, and PM's been a great addition. It's nice having PM as a third option for when we get stood up by our guest. It's very, very helpful. I'm kidding. Guys, we have two ways for you guys in the pod. One is the Ask MCA, the hashtag Ask MCA, which we did do today. It helps us out a ton. If you have questions for how we do the podcast or questions about how we do life or whatever it may be, please use that hashtag. We can search it and find some of those for our episodes that are like this. Also, we can get on the podcast by doing the review of the week, which we will read today. So anywhere we have reviews, whether that be Google Play or Spotify doesn't have them, but like podcast, Apple Podcasts, please leave a review, 5-star rating, and we can read it on stream, as well as the YouTube videos. This one's from Dylan Lee, who said, I love this podcast so much. much! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I listen to it every day when I'm at work. It's my motivation to go back to work the next day. By the way, I still can't tell the difference between y'all's voices. Oh, and asking for a friend. Paul is the major league player that topped out at 100 miles per hour, right? Correct. That's true. That's me. Paul, relief pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. I actually feel like I could throw a hunch. You know, give me like a couple of weeks to really train the arm, maybe a month. I could top out a hunch.
Get some arm exercises, yeah.
Yeah. Stretch it out. 100%. Kind of weird that you can't tell our voices apart. I feel like I don't know. I feel it's not that hard.
No, I don't. Yeah. As a listener, I've never really thought it could be true.
Like if we talk over each other, maybe, but I don't know. It's whatever. Anyway, thank you, Dylan Lee, for the review and for leaving some nice words. I appreciate it very much. I'm glad that we helped you through work. Be sure, like I said, leave a review anywhere you can. Might get selected to be on the show. Guys, this is the May Contain Action podcast. You can listen on all major carriers of podcasts, including Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and watch the VOD on YouTube. Please subscribe and watch that content there if you like the video format. 5-star ratings, and again, leave a review. We may read it on the next episode. Follow us on socials at May Contain Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Trevor May, where can they follow you?
And muted.
Oh,
All right. Trevor's muted. Trevor, you're muted? That'll be the
I am
merch
Trevor
that we
May on
make.
Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. Trevor May Baseball, second YouTube channel, and Trevor May 65 on Instagram.
Bro.
I must have pushed B at some point.
I'm literally making a shirt. It's gonna say on the just in white letters,
Trevor,
you're muted. That's all it's gonna say.
There's our merch.
Trevor, you're muted.
There we go. There we go. Well, that's me.
On brand. Love it.
That's me.
And I am Paul, aka ActionJaxon. Twitter and Twitch at ActionJaxon. Instagram at ActionJaxon, by the way. And that's pretty much it. By the way, when looking that didn't follow the show, I was in Chasing the Crown. My boy Red Vector got second place. So not bad. Very proud of him. He did very well in all the challenges and everything. He's a great streamer and content creator. You can still go follow him at Red Vector, VACKTOR. But he got second place in reality show that we did. So very proud of him.
Who won?
Hashtag not last. You know what I'm saying? Who won? Chelsea Bites. Her name is Chelsea Bites. Her coach was Annie Minition. Of course, they won it. They're outstanding. But yeah, Chelsea Bites did great. And Ammunition was her coach. So great job. Also, shout out to Old Glove and BY, the other contestant and coach. Yeah. Guys,
That's it. Hope you like the
we
show.
did it.
Subscribe. Thanks. See you later.
Get the heck out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
Night night.